Lawrence County Wildcats. Basketball. Football. Baseball. And more. This is the xSports Network.
Great food is just a short drive to Hinie's BBQ in Lawrenceburg. Mouth-watering is just one way to describe the amazing flavors of the best piece of Hinie in town when you dig into a plate of pulled pork, hand-chopped brisket, chicken, wood-fire oven pizzas, and the menu goes on. Wash it all down with a swig of Hinie Shine lemonade and then make your way over to the gift shop full of Hinie sauces, snacks, and more. Hinie's BBQ, Highway 43 North in Lawrenceburg.
Welcome
off the bat.
right off the bat. I was trying to get that last bite of chicken tender in.
Man.
Welcome to xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ here. Week one of the high school football season as we're getting ready. Hayden Burke's going to be joining me for the time being. Clint Brazier will be here a little bit later. Dusty Kaiser, he's undergoing a specific surgery that we got to keep under wraps.
Yeah.
It's happening over at Faith Church right now, so if you see him, you never say we're just joking. not pulling a Burt Kreischer right now. That buffalo sauce is hot. Here.
Get you a sip real quick. Yeah. Oh, my goodness, boy, you got that last bite. I could tell that's burning your mouth the way you're talking.
Yeah, and it's on my hands, so I'm clawing it right now. All right.
Looks like Cheeto Puffs.
It does. Trying to put it on the fries. We are rocking and rolling in week number one here, Hayden. But first off, another sport has also started. We got volleyball going here right off the get-go. You know, Lawrence County at 1-1, getting ready to play their varsity game. Loretto at 3-0, dominant the other night, and Summertown now at 1-1. And I mean, they don't just play one game a week or maybe two a week. They hit the ground running. They all got games tomorrow. I mean, it's just one after another when it comes to volleyball, and we know how good the competition is here in this area.
Absolutely, with Loretto being 3-0 already, and then Summertown and Lawrence County being 1-1 so far. But like you said, it's like been nonstop with those teams. Like it seems like every night they play, then the next day they're going to play again. So I'm excited with all the athletics going on right now. With we got football on Friday, Summertown, Lawrence County. I'm excited about that, but also excited for what volleyball is bringing in this area right now.
Yeah, you just mentioned it, man. We got football 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
2
2
days from now, an hour. So what? 49.
Yeah.
49 hours.
Yeah, 40. Let's see, it's 6 o'clock. We just started,
40,
so 49 hours.
49. Oh wow!
Yep.
Yeah, I can still do math with buffalo sauce in my hand.
That UT education.
Yeah, it was not me.
Yeah,
it's for you.
Yeah.
But anyways, starting the season off, all kinds of rivalries across the board. You got Summertown, you got Lawrence County. Both those teams will be joining us here on xSports Live tonight. Loretto going to Collinwood. We got Mount Pleasant at Wayne County. We've got some pretty traditional rivalries to get things going here in week number one.
Absolutely, and with week one, Lawrence County and Summertown, that's going to be a competitive game, and then you got Loretto playing Collinwood, and that's going to be another competitive one. Then we just saw Mount Pleasant the other night, the Jamboree, who beat Lawrence County with 3 kickoff returns. Just an unbelievable sequence there. And, we know how good they're going to be in Wayne County with their first-year coach, so I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. But, yeah, just a bunch of rivalries going on in week one, but I'm excited.
Yeah, I didn't really realize the history between Wayne County and Mount Pleasant. I'm new to the area, as most people know, so I'm learning all these things. Just like, Summertown and Lawrence County's basically a new rivalry.
Absolutely,
Summertown hasn't had a program for that long. But I went back and looking at Wayne County and Mount Pleasant. They played every year but 3 from 1957 up to 2020.
Absolutely. I mean, that's got to be a rivalry at that point.
Absolutely. So it's good to see them renewing that. Of course, there's a lot of change. Lawrence County's bumping up the 5A.
Yep. And another rivalry renewed there with Giles County, them playing them this year. Yeah. So a lot of rivalry games this year.
Right off the get-go, Lincoln County, Columbia
Central,
five. Obviously we got going on next week, but, can't look past what's about to happen at Hendricks Tag Stadium. It's a rivalry game. Anything could happen.
Absolutely.
Summertown's got a new coach. We're going to talk with him here in a little bit, and we know what Lawrence County has coming back, but you can't count out anybody in a rivalry game, especially between towns that are separated by just a few miles.
Absolutely. The one thing about that is Summertown's not that far away. You know, I mean, if you're not new to the area, then you know it's only a 15-minute drive, if less than that. So both teams are going to come out and support. I can't wait for the student section. I can't wait for the band. It's just going to be fun to have those Friday night lights back on. So I'm excited to see what the environment's going to be this Friday night.
Underrated game will be Loretto at Collinwood.
Absolutely.
Now, those two have played 2 instant classics the last couple of years. You know what Loretto's going to do offensively. Collinwood with a lot of veteran guys coming back, big offensive line, big backs, experienced quarterback. I mean, that game isn't a for sure thing like some people think it is.
Absolutely, and with Loretto, you know, they just dominated Richland at the Jamboree game. And then also, we talk about Collinwood, they're kind of under the radar, like the team that nobody really thinks of. But, I mean, they're a dangerous team in my opinion. You know, like you said, they got all the veterans coming back. They got an experienced quarterback coming back, and also it's going to be in Collinwood. So that's in my opinion, one of the toughest places to play in this area. So, you know, it's going to be a challenge for Loretto, but I think they can do it.
Speaking of football, the top 25 has been revealed. Week 0 actually is next week, Aiden.
Wow.
Vandy's hosting Hawaii. UNA will be in action FCS. But
are they going to host Hawaii, though?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, Hawaii's coming here.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But look at the top 25 was revealed this week. I mean, no real surprises in the top 5. You know, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama, LSU.
Yeah.
Bama and Ohio State are flipped from the coaches poll
coaches
to the AP.
Yep.
Tennessee's 12 in the AP, 10 in the coaches poll. Taking a look at where Michael's Final Four is. Penn State's at 7, Texas 11, 7, and someone's got him 12. But they'll end up unranked, and I'll make fun of him for the rest of his life for that one.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But any surprises there? I mean, I don't see anything.
Really, the only surprise in my opinion is, yes, Washington I believe belongs in the top 25, but I don't know about 10 though, because this is me as a biased Tennessee fan. We were ranked 10th in the coaches polls. I mean, I know they got a Heisman candidate possibly, and what's his name?
He's
Michael.
Also 32 years old too.
Yeah, absolutely. He's older than Stinson Bennett was at Georgia, but they got. I mean, that's the only issue I have with that. Other than that, I mean, I think it looks completely fine. It's just me being biased. I think Tennessee should probably be ranked 10th, and especially above Texas. Yeah. Sorry, Michael, but. There's only one shade of orange, and you go to Knoxville, so you're a traitor on that one.
Yeah, and then Tennessee in 2 weeks takes on Virginia. I think that's pretty much a given. It's not so much as can they win; it's by how much.
Yeah, how much are they going to win?
I know Vegas has it at 28.5 points, and if that number ever goes down a little bit, I mean that's tempting. But I think too many people are betting on the over.
Yeah, and it's in Nashville too, so maybe it's further away from. It's actually further away for Virginia, a drive for them instead of Knoxville, and plus. Yeah. People from Knoxville, they're going to travel to Nashville to watch this team. So I'm excited to see what they bring this year.
Virginia fans are going to hang out on their back porch at their local winery. They're not making that trip to Nashville.
Yeah.
Speaking of some NFL news, Michael Orr, have you been reading up on this situation? This is crazy. I mean, he is not like that movie from day one.
No.
That's not a secret, but the fact he's kind of taken it
a step further.
A step further. I mean, it's almost like he might as well just remake the movie himself at this point.
I haven't really read. I mean, I've watched some stuff on ESPN about what's been going down because I've been kind of interested. But from what it seems, it's not that the profit of him in the NFL. It's the movie. So that's the issue there. So, I mean, like I said, I can't pick sides right now because I don't know enough of the story right now to know what's the situation like between the family and Michael Orr, who benefited the most from it. But, I mean, from what I heard earlier today, that could have been a quick accident. But from what I heard, it's just it's a tough situation because, I think he had his lawyers and attorneys and all that stuff look into it, and something got reported in January that he wouldn't even filed like he was adopted. So. I don't know enough about it, but it's really interesting to know that this movie was a big time hit in the sports world.
Oscar winning.
Yeah, Oscar winning, and brought so much money in. So with a movie like that, and how long has it been? Almost getting close to getting close to almost 20 years. So about 13 years, something like that. But. I don't know. We'll have to see in a couple of weeks how it goes from there. So,
Well, moving on to your favorite subject, the NBA, and I heard his name called today as the greatest trade requester in NBA history.
I'm telling you.
And it's almost like days of our lives, but it's almost like trade request of our lives with James Harden. It just does not get any better with this guy.
No, I mean, I ran about it, and I mean, I don't want to have to keep ranting about this guy, but it seems like he's just forcing me to. Like, I mean, he doesn't like the situation in Houston, so he brings in a fat suit, decides to eat Taco Bell, like I said, every day for every meal, shows up to training camp, gained probably 20 pounds.
Yeah.
They finally trade him to Brooklyn. He doesn't like that situation with Kyrie and KD, and then gets traded to Philadelphia, which Daryl Morey wanted him. So, but when he came out with that video at that Adidas event that he was hosting in China, it was in China, he said, Daryl Morey is a liar, and I will not be a part of an organization that he is.
He said it twice.
He said it, and that's the bad part. He said it twice. So at this point, I don't think it's anything professional. Something personal has happened.
Yeah.
That he doesn't like. So, I mean, and we all know what it is.
Yeah.
It's a promise that he was going to get something, more than likely a good payday that Daryl Morey promised him. Because we know Daryl Morey, he was at Houston when James Harden went. Anything James Harden wanted, he was basically LeBron to Daryl Morey.
Yeah.
Anything he wanted, he got in Houston. I mean, and that's what I was watching First Take earlier today. ESPN, Mad Dog Russo and Stephen A. Smith, they were talking about, would you want James Harden in the playoffs? No. Lord, no, absolutely not.
Harden, period.
Yeah, exactly, and that's how it is. He is a toxin. Now, this is going to be close to 3 years, and he could be approaching 4 NBA teams if somebody will take him. Me personally, I wouldn't take him, but I know there's going to be some, who I don't even know if there's any really bad team that would really want him right now. I mean, Detroit maybe, but they got a good young squad, so I think he's just a sitting duck right now.
Yeah. And moving on now to baseball, obviously we're coming up close on the final half of the season.
Absolutely.
Not the final. We are in the final half, but the final month of the season. Braves, they're eclipsing records, hitting the ball out of the ballpark. It seems like every time.
Yep.
As a Cubs fan, they're back in the mix. It's good, but we should be beating some of these teams that they're better than right now with all this pressure coming up. There's a lot of races that are going to go down the wire. It's going to be a fun September. It's almost like I hate that it's going to get swallowed up by football, but that just happens every season. But there's a lot riding on these next 20, 25 games for these teams.
Absolutely. You got Tampa Bay and the Oilers looking to see who would win the Orioles. My bad,
You're
Lord.
thinking football.
Yeah, I don't know what in the world I was thinking. But, you got those two teams that are going to be going down to the wire to see who can win the American League, but also – with the Braves, this is just me as a Brave. For some reason, they've been inconsistent so far.
She's trying to. Yeah. She is.
Sorry. But, So we were just man, the bats have been so inconsistent. But, man, you got to give it up to Matt Olson. That dude is killing it right now. I believe,
He's single-handedly helping my fantasy team.
Obviously. I mean, he's got 42 home runs, I believe, over 120 RBI, something like that. So I don't know how you can pick him to not be the National League MVP.
I was thinking about this the other day. Who won the Freddie Freeman thing? As Freddie goes to the Dodgers, everyone was upset about that. And then Matt Olson comes in and has 2 MVP caliber seasons.
Me as an Atlanta fan.
Yeah, Will's wearing a Freddie Freeman shirt.
Yeah, he's hurting. I can tell he's just hurting sitting back there. But he really can't be that mad because – you lose Freddie Freeman after winning that World Series title. And, Atlanta fans are up that because basically he was the last man of that because he got drafted. He was basically the franchise of the Braves. And so when he went to the Dodgers, everybody was just kind of like, well, where do they go from here? And, I mean, they just got Matt Olson, and he's just took off, and so is his whole team.
They got a younger guy. I don't want to call him better, but he's better right now.
Absolutely, yeah.
Will he be better down the line? Who knows? Yeah. But he's better right now.
I mean, everybody – thank you. But everybody on this team, man, they're inconsistent, but, man, if they can just get on a roll. I mean, we saw it the other day. They beat the Mets 21-3.
And then won the second game of the doubleheader.
Yeah, and then won the second game of that. So, I mean, it's just – they're just inconsistent, but, I mean, until somebody knocks off the Braves, they're still my favorite. So
we'll see what happens, guys.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Baseball's so unpredictable. We got a lot going on. We'll come. So So Lawrence County wins the first set against Shelbyville. They're up 1-0. Might be on the road to back-to-back district wins, and then they got another win against Spring Hill tomorrow night, which we'll also have on the xSports Network as well. Well, coming up next, we'll have the Summertown Eagles and their brand new head coach, Dan Winfrey, coming up here on xSports Live from Hinie's BBQ.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we've provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great, they're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender? Major or minor, Car Country Collision Center in Leoma can fix you up. Car Country works with all insurance carriers, gives free estimates, can work on foreign and domestic vehicles, and has experience you can trust. They've been in business since 1990. Unfortunately, accidents happen, but you can get your car back on the road with as little hassle as possible with the help of Car Country. Call 931-852-4708 or stop by at 2567 Highway 43 South in Leoma.
Hey everyone, this is Landon Saunders.
And this is Nate Patterson with Cloud9 Fiber.
We're excited to finally be able to offer Lawrenceburg our blazing fast, reliable, and affordable fiber internet services.
If you're looking for a more reliable and more affordable provider, we at Cloud9 Fiber have you covered.
Plans start at $50 a month, and we can offer up to a gigabit to your home or business.
We are excited to be able to offer your first month of service entirely free. We encourage you to sign up on cloud9fiber.com or by calling 931-201-9098 so we can help you make the switch today.
I'm Mike Keith, and my friends at Elliott Johnson Insurance have a great partner in Auto Owners Insurance. Auto Owners makes it easy to get life, home, car, or business insurance. Let Elliott Johnson Insurance find the Auto Owners policy that makes a difference in your life. Call Elliott Johnson Insurance at one of their 3 locations, Florence, Loretto, and Lawrenceburg. Elliott Johnson Insurance, moving forward for our clients every day.
Employee Resources Credit Union is an easy solution to banking.
We're flying on all cylinders again here, back here at xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ here, joined by the Summertown Eagles, Ty Bryant, Jeff Stoll, and new head coach Dan Winfrey. Guys, thank you here for joining us tonight and right here on the back porch.
Thanks for having us.
Man, time flies, man.
I know.
You guys, seniors, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, how crazy has these 4 years been for you at Summertown, and now you're getting ready here to enter week number 1 of your senior year?
Yeah, it's been crazy. I mean, people always say that time flies, but it really does. You don't think about it until it's actually happening.
Yeah.
It's just hard to believe because it went by so fast, you know. Yeah. It feels like I was just a sophomore or freshman, just a couple days ago. So it flies so fast, and you just got to take advantage of it. So.
And Coach, you know,
I thought you was talking about me being the senior. I'm the real senior.
we're not talking about the discounts you get at a place like this. Where, you know, we're. But Coach, you know, I mean, you have kind of been learning on the job here a little bit. I know you've coached before at several stops, but kind of just you took the job, then 2 days later you're meeting the team and hosting practices. What kind of a whirlwind has this been for you?
Oh, it's been a fast month or whatever, 3.5 weeks, I guess maybe. But yeah, met the team on Friday and started practice on Monday, and it's been full go ever since.
Yeah.
So time flies.
Yeah, it sure does. And what have you liked so far after your short and, you know, almost month here at Summertown? What have you liked being a part of the community?
Oh, it's been awesome. I mean, the people have received us, me very good. They obviously have been there, but kids been great. They've been very coachable. Worked hard. I told them today, you know, we've worked hard. We hadn't necessarily been good all the time, but we've worked hard, and we're correcting mistakes and getting everybody on the same page. That's what's so hard, especially with a short time frame, is just getting to know these guys. I've almost learned all the names. I'm getting close. I do a roll call about every day, and so I'm learning names, but kids worked hard, and it's been a good 3.5 weeks.
Have you had to, do you do the tape on the helmet still? You put the last name? You guys don't do that?
No, we didn't do that. Somebody said, are you hollering numbers? And I haven't done that, but I'm just, you know, I'm just plugging along, trying to learn.
What's it been like with him as a head coach? You know, a guy that's had a lot of experience. How have you guys enjoyed, you know, this last month or so?
I really liked it. I feel like our practices are very organized now, and the plays that we have they're nice. I like them, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's been great. Obviously, we need that. He comes in. First thing he does is holds everybody accountable and make sure that we discipline ourselves. And he just really been coaching us up on, you know, having the right attitude and giving effort and stuff. So it's really great that we have him, and I'm happy I'm going to be able to play for him this season. Looking forward to it.
And for you two, you got to like it as receivers, you know,
yeah.
playmakers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're spreading the ball around, you know, you just got these spread off. And how have you liked that change in offense?
I liked it. I liked it a little bit. You know, anytime we can just trick the defense or just do anything to get the ball into one of our playmakers' hands, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and Jeff, big wideout. I mean,
Yes,
you got to love that kind of offense.
Oh, I love it. That's our main strength, our skill players. You know, we got guys that can hurt you with different ways. You know, we got speed and we got size and we got hands and stuff. So just spreading the ball around. You know, my brother has the arm, so he's capable of doing it. So it's been good for us.
Yeah, and Coach, where did kind of your offensive philosophy come from, and how did you kind of build it up over time?
Well, it's evolved over a lot of years, but you know, it always goes back to, though, what's our personnel? And you know, you got a base package of things you want to do, but probably the one word for us has always been balance. We want the ability to run and throw. Now, there's been times that, you know, we were running the ball a heck of a lot more than we threw it. But we felt like we still had the ability to throw play action or some kind of pass. And there's been times that we threw it a lot, but we still wanted the ability to run the ball. So we're looking for balance. We want to keep teams off balance and throw it and run it when we want to.
Yeah. Hey.
Well, Coach, you know, we covered the Jamboree game the other night at Loretto, and we watched y'all, and we really didn't, you know, not many people really knew y'all's identity, like what would this team look like. But, you know, going into that game, we all were just kind of, you know, questioning what Summertown would look like. But y'all came out the gate against Huntley, and y'all, like, spanked them, to be honest. You know, so, like, what's the identity, and to, like, say, what do you want to see out of this team this upcoming year?
Well, that's a good question. What is our identity? Because I'm not sure we know yet. I think that will evolve just like it has for me over years. And be honest with you, I think our young kids did a really good job of spanking them. I don't know if we got off to a great start, but
you recovered well.
But we did. We got better the more we played. Yeah. I don't think there's any doubt. We started off a little sluggish, but the more we played, we played better. So I'm eager to see, just like you are, what is our identity? What's that going to be? But here again, we hope that we can develop our offensive line. Our blocking has gotten better in 3 weeks. I think these guys will tell you. We're getting better up there, and we're getting some run game, some stuff we feel good about. And obviously we got some skilled guys. So right now we're just kind of building it on balance and, see where that takes us.
Absolutely.
See who emerges too. There's always going to be guys who emerge as players, who grow up. And so we got a lot of young kids. I know this morning we were talking, and we've got 2 or 3 sophomores playing in the offensive line, and we got some good young kids, freshmen and sophomores, and kind of eager to see who emerges.
Absolutely.
Jeff, got your younger brother there at quarterback. What's it like with that dynamic between you two?
It's definitely cool. We work a lot in the off season. It's a good connection. Our timing. Our timing's down and stuff. He knows where I'm going to be when I break in and out of my routes and stuff. So it's definitely there's a comfort level. Knowing that your brother's back there.
You get on him at all at the house, maybe not in front of your teammates, or go back to the house and kind of.
I try to kind of stay out of his head. I don't want to. I don't want to get in his head, and I'm not gonna just bark on him and stuff. I'm gonna let him make his decision, make the right read and stuff, because that's main thing is just stay out of his head. He's fully capable. It's not just me on the team. We got multiple receivers that are capable of beating you. So it's his job to find the right one, and main goal is just be a team player. He'll find me when I'm open and when I'm able to make the play.
Ty, you've been a part of all these teams, and I get for both of you guys, made the playoffs 2 years ago, had a good run there, and how kind of motivating was it for you guys, seeing that foundation and kind of wanting to build off of what you guys did 2 years ago?
When we had that good year 2 years ago, I think everyone on the team was just very connected. We all loved each other. We were all just we were a team. We were a good team, and we had the players. And when that happens, you see what happens. You make the playoffs, you win a game, and we just want to replicate that. Everything we do, we want to be like that type of team, and I think we're getting pretty close.
Jeff.
Yeah, it's been great. We made the playoffs a couple years ago, so last year's not the type of year that you want to have, but you just got to get over it. You got to get it out of your head, and you got to move on. And we're ready to finish. We're ready to finish on a strong note this year.
Yeah. So. And Coach, obviously used to coach at Lawrence County. A few years ago. We'll say 2 years ago, right? Just a few years ago. Going to face them again. It's going to feel like has to feel like a bit of a homecoming for you coming up here in 2 days.
Well, it's been so long. I don't know if that's how relevant that is, but it'll be different. I'm sure going to the other sideline or whatever, but. We're just looking forward to playing whoever it is, and it just happens to be Lawrence County. It's kind of ironic the way it worked out, that you come back and your first game is a place that you coached at. That we've said before, this place is special for a lot of reasons. This is my wife's home, and so we've been coming back here for years, and all of a sudden you get a chance to coach right here in her backyard. So it's special.
Yeah, and. Lost my train of thought. Hayden?
Oh, well, you were talking about, you got younger guys on the team. How important is to have that? You got these senior guys or leaders that are coming back that know the culture of this, not organization, but this program at Summertown. But how important is to have those younger guys? Because like you said, they really were showing why they should play. And, of course, in those Jamboree games, you want to see those guys competing for positions. So,
That's right.
So how important is to have that depth and just young players?
Well, it's really important when you only got 6 seniors. Yeah. We need all of them contributing, but we're kind of in a spurt that I think our junior and senior class, both the numbers are somewhat down, but we got good numbers in the freshman and sophomore classes, and there's good players in there. So ideally, we would like in our program to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 seniors a year or so, and we're not there yet, but we're hoping we can grow that at least freshmen and sophomores. So. Just like these guys played when they were younger, we're hoping those guys get some good experience this year that they're going to be able to take us into the future the next 2 or 3 years.
Absolutely.
Obviously, big game in 2 nights. Going to Lawrence County, open up the season. Just how excited are you guys? Not only just to be facing a rival, but just to be playing a game here after, you know, a long off season.
When you practice for, I don't know, however long, 8-9 months, just for this to happen, it's kind of crazy that it's actually here. And I kind of get sick to my stomach whenever I think about it. Just, I don't know, but it's so exciting. It's kind of an exciting feeling, but also nervous. But being nervous is a good thing, I think, sometimes. Yeah. And, I think we're going to go out and show what we can do.
Jeff?
Well, you know, it's been a while, so I'm definitely both nervous and excited. You know, it's been a while since I played an actual meaningful game, so, you know, this is going to be a big game for us. Lawrence County is a very good opponent. You know, they have a very good football team, so it's going to be a challenge for us, but we accepted that, and we're ready to go and go up there and play.
Yep. Coach?
We're looking forward to it. I mean, you know, actually, I hadn't coached the last 2 years, so first time. But, you know, as old as I am, as long as I've been doing it, you know, it's like riding a bike. You know, you get back in the saddle pretty quick. So we're looking forward to playing. It's been fast. I said I kind of wish we had a few more days, but it is what it is. We've got as much work done, I think, as we possibly could. So we're excited. We're ready to go play.
Yeah. All right. Now, a little fun with you guys. All right. Who are your favorite NFL and college teams?
Titans for sure.
Okay.
And then college, I kind of watch everyone.
You just watch. You don't have a.
Like I watched every Tennessee, watched every Alabama game. Like I don't really have a favorite. I kind of I just like to watch.
Okay. All right, Jeff.
For me, it's the Titans. I'm a big Derrick Henry fan. I've always been. You can ask Ty about that. And for college, I'm gonna have to go with LSU.
Oh, okay.
So
why LSU?
I like their defense. They have a really strong defense. DBU.
Yeah.
And they got some really good linebackers. Harold Perkins. I don't know if you know anything about him, but I just like watching their defense. They're aggressive. They hit, and it's good to see that.
Yeah. All right, Coach, what about you?
Well, I'm a football fan, and I don't really follow a team. But, you know, obviously when the Titans came to town, everybody's kind of got on the Titan bandwagon. So, you know, I do that. But college, same thing. I've not really had a team. But I will say right now, I'm a Purdue Boilermaker. Hammered down.
Okay.
My youngest son is hired there as an assistant strength coach.
Okay.
And since he's there, we're hammered down.
All right. Wow. I did not expect to hear Purdue when I came to a show in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. So
never know.
Yeah, I've actually covered a game there before. It's a great place. That drum is as big as what it looks. Train horn scared the daylights out of me, but you know I'm easily scared in those situations. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us here tonight, and good luck coming up here on Friday night over at Hendricks Stack Stadium.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate you having us.
All right, well, coming up next, we'll have the Lawrence County Wildcats here on xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ.
Arctic Air keeps your home or business comfortable. For more than 20 years, we provided outstanding residential and commercial services through southern Middle Tennessee. Whether you need assistance with your heat, air conditioning, preventive maintenance, or anything in between, trust our reliable team to get the job done. We'll take the time to figure out your specific needs and recommend what we believe is right and best for your situation.
We've been using Arctic Air for over 15 years now. Their service is great. They're here when we need them, and their prices are competitive. They take the worry out of the heat and air, so I don't have to.
Arctic Air. When you need us, we'll be there.
A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
Got a dent, a ding, a scratch, or a bent fender?
And back here at xSports Live, brought to you by, making sure that I didn't have the mute button on that time. xSports Live brought to you by Hinie's BBQ here, joined by the Wildcats of Lawrence County, Latavion Everly, Jacabry Stevenson, head coach David Marson. Guys, thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you, AJ.
I mean, you guys have been hard at work here, obviously, the last few months since that season ended there, unfortunately against Creekwood. Just how motivating has it been, and how much work have you guys put in here over these last 8 to 9 months?
I think in the weight room and outside of the weight room, we put in a lot of work, especially on the field. I feel like we look a lot more like polished and cleaner this year. I think we're a lot more stronger and faster, and I'm just ready for the season, to be honest.
Yeah. Jacabry?
I feel like, we have 22 seniors. We have a lot of seniors, and going out how we did last year didn't feel good. And, coming back in our senior year, we got a lot more talent in a lot of areas this year. We got a lot of, we got a lot of depth. So I feel like we're going to go and do a really good job this season. So we've been putting in work for a while. In the off season, everybody been getting better. So I feel like we'll be really good this year.
Yeah. Coach?
Hey, absolutely. Really proud of these seniors. They've been here. These guys played a lot of football the last 4 years. I know Jacabry started the first game. I think his first game, interception against Hickman County, if I remember right. You remember that?
Yes,
and Tay, I don't remember if he started the first game, but he played a lot. And I think by the end of the season, he was starting. So these guys are 4-year starters, and they've seen a lot. They've seen some not so good, and they've seen some good. And their sophomore year we were 5-5. The junior year we were 6-4, and just missed playoffs both times. And so we're looking forward to, of course, everything's 1 week at a time. So we're looking forward to Summertown this week, but we're looking forward to a strong season as well.
Yeah, Tay and Jacabry, does it feel great? Does it feel like this has just flown by? Like 1 minute you're a freshman, and now you're sitting here. It's almost week 1. You got your first game in 2 days.
Yeah, I think it really has flown by, and I get kind of like emotional when I think about it sometimes. So I try to keep my mind off of it. But I really like the fact that I'm a senior now, and I can really like make an impact on like underclassmen and like help the older people like lead like the team much more.
And I'm the same way, I feel like it's flown by really quick, and I think about it, and I can't think about it. I'm not ready for football season to be over with, and after that I graduate. This might be it, but other than that, it sucks being a senior. But at the other point, it's good to be a senior.
Coach, of this group of 22 seniors, did you know that these guys were going to be as good as they were?
Oh, yeah. When they were freshmen, they were playing.
I mean, obviously they were playing.
They were playing because they were the best we had. And so we knew they were going to keep getting better as long as they could stay healthy and we could survive. It's hard to win with freshmen. I mean, it absolutely is hard to win with freshmen. We won a few. But as they get to be sophomores, and like Tay says, putting the work in the weight room, and as they grow and mature, then hopefully you're winning a lot more than you're losing, and then by the time you're seniors, hopefully you can dominate, on the field. And so it's not just them. We got a lot of guys. Jacob Birdie-Shaw and Evan Coltis they've also played 4 years. Cade Brown has played a lot of football. There's people. Skylar Mooney he started some as a freshman, and so like I said, there's a lot of guys that have been starting off and on for 4 years. Maybe they got hurt 1 year or something happened, but they, there's a lot of guys hungry for football and have stuck with it. 22 is a great number. I heard Coach Winfrey talking about it. I think he said they had 6. It's tough. You want a lot more kids than that. We had 6 last year. Yeah. And, for whatever reason, sometimes kids find out they want to work or they get injured or their life situation changes. But it's really tough not to have a strong upper class, and we've got 22 seniors and 17 juniors, and so 39 upperclassmen. And I think we're going to dress about 72 kids. We've got about 8 freshmen that will dress and have a chance to play some because they're a really talented bunch as well. Latavion's little brother Zacchaeus would be playing, other than he broke his collarbone in our scrimmage against Hardin County. But hopefully we get him back toward the middle part of the end of the season. But we're looking forward to him for the next 4 years. So, Like I said, a lot of good talent. Kaufman's had some really good teams the last couple of years, and we're seeing those guys show up for us on Fridays or at our school, and they'll show up for us on Fridays as well.
Yeah, you guys feel like you're battle tested. I mean, you've just the competition you guys have faced the last few years. You've faced D1 guys, you know, guys that might be in the NFL someday. You guys feel like you've kind of seen it all and done it all at this point.
Yeah, I like playing like tough competition. I like getting a look out of myself. I like seeing like where I am against like better people. And that's about it. I love playing against bigger people, stronger people. It's like more exhilarating, more fun. You know what I mean?
No, I get it.
2 years ago, we were playing Pearl Cone. Of course, they had Barry and Brown, who was all SEC freshman for Kentucky. I saw him last time on the SEC Network. They were talking about Kentucky's explosive receivers. And so when you line up against that guy, there's nobody else that's going to intimidate you. We've seen some really good athletes. You know, we saw in the last 3 years we've played the state champion that came out of our region, as well as the state runner-up. And the team Pearl Cone is picked to win the state this year. And that, of course, we moved up one. But that's the toughest region in the state, in my opinion, is that 4A region we came out of. And, you know, we're excited to go into this new 5A region with a lot of former rivals that we've been through the years. And we're looking forward to a challenge with those guys.
I mean, your first 5 games, it's like all rivalry games. You know,
Absolutely.
Summertown, Loretto, Lincoln County, Giles County, Columbia. I mean,
we're praying for good weather at the home games so we can make some money and pay for all this expensive equipment.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, you said y'all are AJ said y'all are battle test. You know, you got 22 seniors this year. You got 17 juniors this year. And with the 5A region, you know, like you said, Lincoln County, Giles County, Columbia, you got Summertown and Loretto right out the gate. What do you think the key is to getting over that hump and getting into the playoffs this season? You know, like you said 2 years ago, 5-5, then last year 6-4. So this team kept progressively kept getting better. So, like, what's the key for this year?
Us staying healthy. I think if we stay healthy, then we will do well. And we got to stay healthy in key positions. And, you know, just go out and compete. And, I feel like that we compete with anybody on our schedule. You know, Columbia is going to be a talented team. They got a lot of excitement. Jarius Goff, he won a state championship there as a player. And he's gone back up there as head coach. And I've heard a lot of good things about them and what they're doing. And, you know, there will be some other good teams. I've heard that Tullahoma's a lot better this year. Shelby was supposed to be improved. Franklin County, I think they lost a lot of seniors. Lincoln County, they beat Fayetteville City the other night in the Jamboree, which is they're picked to win, I think, the 1A state championship. So, you know, Lincoln County will be better. You know, we're looking forward to it. But, again, it's a little bit of an unknown because we haven't played those guys in several years as to what they have. Giles County is always they're always tough. I understand they got a quarterback moving in from North Alabama back in for spring practice, and they already had a good running back, and I think that they had a receiver also move in. So you know, they'll be talented across the board too.
Absolutely.
And you know, Guy, we talk about your offense. You know, we talk about the 3-headed monster. You got Jacabry there on the outside. I mean, you guys are full of weapons in this offense.
I tell our offense coordinator I would hate to play us because they're so.
I would hate to have to tackle this.
Absolutely, our offensive line it starts with them. Coach Sweet and Coach Holt have done a great job. We had a kid move in from, I say a kid, he's a young man, move in from California, him and his brother, Matt Hageman, and he's come in. He's a dominant offensive lineman. Jacob Shaw, Evan Coltis were already there. Max Taylor started last year as a freshman. He's back. Drake Osborne started tight end last year. He's back. We returned 11 starters on offense, even though we've changed a couple. You know, we feel good about our offense. And like you said, we're a running team. You know, that's what our strength is. You know, and we do have to find ways to be creative. Get Jacabry, of course, he plays receiver on a running team, so we got to be creative with ways to get him the ball. And we have worked a lot on throwing the ball in the offseason, and we're going to try to do a little more of that because eventually you'll line up against somebody that will stop the run. And so we want to be able to be more balanced than what we have been as far as with the pass.
And guys, how you like playing that offense? I know it benefits you, Tay. You get a lot of carries, but you know, Jacabry, there's chances for you to make some plays in this offense as well.
Yeah, I like our offense. I mean, as long as I have the ball, I have the confidence in myself to get the team where we need to be. I just have to have trust in my other teammates. I like when Jacabry gets the ball too because he's a real good playmaker. I like seeing my best friend pretty much turn up the field. Like I like seeing him have fun too. So
Isaiah Bentley and Ian Clayton are two other guys that they're play running back that can go, and we're excited about those guys. And I think Isaiah and Tay both were 800-yard plus rushers last year, and so our goal this year is to get both those guys over 1,000. And we do that, then we're going pretty good on offense.
Jacoby?
I like our offense. I think we look good. Coach Beasley, our offensive coordinator, he does a good job with our offense. He puts a lot of time in. He's really hard on the running backs, on getting the ball, getting out there quick. But I feel like we do a good job on offense. We're cleaning up a few things, like Coach Marston said, trying to find ways to get the receivers the ball. And we got a lot of good running backs, a lot of good receivers, good quarterbacks. So everything's going to fall in place for us, and we'll have a good offense.
Defensively, Coach, I know that's kind of your specialty there.
It is, and we played well. I thought in the Jamboree, I think Mount Pleasant had 16 total yards of offense, but that was good for defensively. But of course, as y'all saw on your broadcast, special teams was horrible, and so we have worked a ton on coverage, changed a few guys around, and changed some schemes around. I think we're a whole lot better covering the ball now, and that's a big part of the game. Of course, not taking anything away from Mount Pleasant, they have some great athletes back there returning, but we will see great athletes, the teams we play. So, that's good to see that. I'm glad we saw it in the Jamboree. That's why I told our kids that, I'm angry that we didn't play very well there, but I'm also happy that it wasn't week 1 against Summertown. They hadn't ran back 2 kickoffs and a punt return against us. So, something we can fix. And, we're excited for the season. There was a little more pep at practice this week. Our coaches are excited. Our coaches do a great job. I've got a staff I'd put up against any staff in the state. Coach Brown does the D-line. Coach Nunley and Coach Barnett, Coach Nunley works with linebackers and D-ends, and tight ends, and freshmen. And Coach Barnett works with quarterbacks and D-backs and with freshmen. And Coach Deason, he's been there a long time as a wing T guy. He's knowledgeable in a lot of areas. And, of course, we said Coach Hope, Coach Sweeten, and Coach McAnally with linebackers. And, Coach Sweeten has got NFL experience. Coach Brown was a team captain at the University of Tennessee, starting defensive lineman. And so, like I say, I feel like I've got guys that have played and coached at the highest levels. And so we're excited to have those guys working with our young men. And, we're excited to get the season started.
And you two-way players. You play both offense, play defense. And, I had to play both ways in high school as well. Just talk about how you guys basically never come off the field.
I'm completely fine with it. Yeah. I've been working a lot more on my endurance just for that reason, just so I can keep the team going. Because I feel like when me or a big vital part of our defense or offense has to come off, it just puts a lot of pressure on whoever has to come in for us. Yeah. So that's why I like staying in, and I feel like I'm a real good playmaker. I have a lot of confidence in myself. So I like to stay in as much as I possibly can.
Yeah, Jacoby?
Really playing both ways. Being a senior, I kind of want to be in, every chance I can get, But I can say it does get pretty tiring, but, it's really part of it. I've been doing it for a really long time, kind of used to it, and, that's kind of how I look at it.
Try to spell them on special teams. I was talking to one of our other kids today. I was telling him he was wanting to do something. I said, no, you're just playing special teams and defense. You don't need to be on offense as well. He said, Jacoby's on everything. I said, is he on every special team? I said, yep. I said, he's not on PAT. Yeah. So I'm going to have to find something else to take him off of. But
and if he does get out there, that's probably going to signal to everybody.
Yeah,
in the
if he's on PAT, we're
going
to fake it because he's not out there to block. Yeah. But, like I say, we'll try to balance it, try to give him some breaks as we go. But that goes back to on our coverage team, we have to have more starters on it because we got to tackle. We got to get up to tackle.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, guys, going back to the offensive side, Jacoby, wide out, Tay, running back. With the three-headed monster y'all got, you, Isaiah, and Ian, and then Jacoby, that'll open it up for you. How does that benefit y'all on the offensive side, like just individually? What does that offense, how does it benefit y'all?
I feel like for us 3 running backs, like they'll put a lot of pressure on us. They'll end up putting a lot of pressure on us, like focusing more on like Ian, Isaiah, me, and then Jacoby. I mean, he's just out there. So we get the ball to Jacoby. He's just like one of us. Like he'll turn up. Like he'll just get up that field. He's a real good athlete, and they just need to they just have a lot to worry about. I feel like it's a lot for the defense to focus on when the offense is on the field.
Cool. Cabry?
You know, I feel like Latavion, Ian, and Isaiah, our other running backs, they do a good job at what they do. You know, they make plays for us, and then I come in and, you know, I kind of just, you know, do what I got to do to maybe get a first down or something, you know, just move the chains and put the running backs in position to do what they do. And then, you know, the guys up front, they help us out a lot, and they help the running backs out a lot, the quarterbacks out. But, yeah, I like our offense, and I like the way we run things. So,
And obviously, big one tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. It's on the big one on Friday night. You got Summertown coming in your place, and you know, start off with one of those big rivalry games. And you know, obviously it's week 1, so you want to finish it 1-0.
Yeah, Coach McAnally always tells us just worry about the first game. Don't worry about nothing else. Don't listen to what anybody has to say about it. Just focus on being 1-0, and then next week focus on being 2-0, and then so on. So I've been living by that standard ever since.
Okay.
You know, we take one day at a time. Everybody's excited for the first game against Summertown. And Summertown, you know, I feel like they got a good team. They're going to come out, play hard, and compete. But this is definitely something we've waited on, you know, for a while. So we're all excited about it, and we're just ready to be out there Friday.
Yeah. Coach?
Yeah, like I said, we're excited to play Summertown. I thought they looked good at the Jamboree against Huntington. You know, I thought they threw the ball well, and we saw their, you know, the receivers. They're tall, good-looking kids, and look very athletic. So I'm sure that I thought the quarterback threw the ball well, and you know, I'm sure it'll be an exciting football game. So hope for a big crowd. Hopefully the Wildcats come out on top.
Yeah. And just like I asked the Summertown guys, so tell me who your all's favorite college NFL teams are.
I've always been like more of an NFL person.
Okay.
I've always been like on the Titans like bandwagon ever since I was younger. And for college, I'll go with UT Knox just because they're like interstate. But
Right.
I've never really been like a big college fan.
Okay.
But they're real fun to watch. I like the
Yeah.
fun games.
Yeah. Did you get?
I like.
Don't do it. Don't do it, Cabry.
Chill. I like Tennessee Titans because, you know, I go to my grandmother's house on Sundays and whatever they play on. And, you know, it's kind of loud out there, so it kind of makes me, you know, have some kind of care about the Titans. But Tennessee Vols, you know, I just like the excitement around their team. That's why I kind of like them a lot. But other than that, I really don't even watch, you know, college football and NFL, stuff like that. I don't know. Really.
I like the Titans. Of course, I mean, I've been here long enough to whenever they came in was a huge deal. And, you know, growing up watching football, you couldn't get but one game a week. Or, you know, you get an NFL Sunday game. Then a Monday night football was a huge game. And so, you know, I was always a Cowboys fan until the Titans got here. And then I turned that around really quickly. And I really liked Jeff Fisher when he was here. I thought he did a great job. And, of course, they went through some lean years, but I'm glad that they're back. I think that Vrabel does a great job coaching them. He gets the most out of his players. And, you know, they're hard-nosed, and they play clean football, play great special teams. And, you know, really, really hope they have a great year this year. Last year was sort of an outlier for them, I hope. And, of course, I grew up a Tennessee fan. My grandparents, my parents, all season ticket holders. And so that was always a long journey over to Knoxville. And seeing those, I've seen some great games at Neyland Stadium. And, of course, now I can't go as much because we're always work Friday night and then start working for the next week. But I follow them on TV, you know, every chance I get, and try to follow on the sports, the SEC Network, and then try to read the Knoxville News Sentinel and the Tennessee and all those kinds of media outlets. Keep up with them.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, thank you for coming by tonight, and good luck on Friday.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, AJ.
Well, coming up next here, Clint, who has joined us, just came in, and Hayden and I will talk about what we think are the most overrated moments in sports history. It's coming up next here on xSports Live.
Are you looking for a job where you can easily balance work and home life? By becoming a local driver with Southeast Carriers, we can guarantee multiple benefits and a base pay starting at $17 per hour, along with a work-life balance so you can spend equal time on the road as with family. We also provide the latest updated equipment and technology to make your job as easy as possible. Southeast Carriers isn't just a company, it's a family, and we would love for you to be a part of it. For more information, visit our website at southeastcarriers.com or check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Are you looking for a non-factory job environment? Livingstone Freight Solutions is a 3PL company that began managing warehouses in Tennessee, Alabama, and Mississippi. With our multiple shifts and experienced management team, our goal is to give you, as an employee, a safe family work environment and competitive wages. We offer a wide variety of employment opportunities from forklift drivers to management level positions. We also strive to offer a competitive benefit package and PTO options. For more information or to apply, visit us at livingstonefs.com or give us a call at 931-269-3255.
From our humble beginnings to today, Parks Lumber Company has continuously served Lawrence and surrounding counties for over a century. Although we started as a small lumber yard in 1896, we have grown to include everything you need to make your dream project come to life. No matter your building needs, our experienced staff will be with you every step of the way to ensure you receive the highest customer service and attention to detail you deserve. Visit us at 106 2nd Street or on Facebook. We guarantee you will see working with PLC is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Southern Craft Manufacturing is dedicated to creating the finest quality and greatest value products in the death care industry. Southern Craft has perfected blending old world craftsmanship with modern manufacturing technologies to create a full line of steel, wood, and corrugated caskets. Family owned and operated for over 30 years, Southern Craft is now looking to hire local and regional truck drivers, welders, and production workers, each with great starting pay and a benefits package. For more information, visit southerncraftmfg.com. Are you looking for
Rent Right Equipment has all the tools you need to get the job done. From bobcats to trenchers to augers to lifts, we have a large variety of equipment for every project, big or small. Need a new mower? We have you covered there too. With great brands Hustler and Big Dog, Rent Right is ready to serve all your equipment needs. Call today and reserve your equipment from Rent Right Equipment in Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
A local law firm respected throughout the state. Generations of clients have turned to Boston, Holt, and Durham since 1948. We assist individuals and businesses with their legal needs, including real estate, property closings, personal injury, employment discrimination, and family law. Our clients get the personal attention and convenience of a hometown law firm with the resources and ability to handle any case. Come see us at Boston, Holt, and Durham.
It's time for some straight talk about zero-turn mowers. Husqvarna's zero-turn performance mowers with rugged commercial drive give you high performance and a comfortable ride. Heavy-duty frame and chassis and commercial hydraulics take no punishment. With warranties now up to 5 years and low financing options, there's no competition. For a straight-up deal on the best in professional zero-turn mowers, go straight.
All right, back here at Hinie's BBQ for some more xSports Live, and Clint Brazier joining us. Just got off work, and
I didn't just get off work, but
well, what have you been doing?
Well, I just try to show up for the fun segments, you know.
It's a good. Well, speaking of, we're going to start with a little fun. You know, we haven't talked wrestling on the show in a while. We haven't. We've had a couple good episodes of Dark Side of the Ring for those who haven't been watching. I mean, we talked.
Are you a wrestling guy?
Yeah, I watch it every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, first one, though, I know. I've been dying to talk to you and Dusty. Dusty's not here. He's getting his emergency liposuction surgery at Faith Church right now.
Hope everything goes well.
Yeah, hope everything goes well. They're streaming it on YouTube if you guys want to watch it. But the first one, the bash at the beach, I want to get your general thoughts of that whole episode.
Me and you watch a lot of these wrestling podcasts, and even Bruce Pritchard, who I think's genuinely honest. No, none of these guys, none of these promoters really are ever going to own up or be truthful, I think, to how much they screw things up. Now, they'll take credit for everything's good, but I don't know. And the more you watch that, I don't know that Hogan was as much in the wrong as I originally always thought he was.
I had the same feeling. I'm like, they put him in a position where he had to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. But as we had talked on this, that company was pretty much doomed because I think, 2 months before that, David Arquette was the WCW champion. So it was going in the toilet anyways. But that was a great episode. The Marty Jannetty episode was, I don't know how that dude still got that foot. I don't even know how he still got that leg. It's not been amputated yet. But
I love how they gave a disclaimer at the start of the episode, like that one woman saying, hey, don't believe anything that comes out of his mouth, because it was like
90% of everything. What she said, 90% of everything do not believe.
Yeah. I mean, I was texting with someone I grew up with, who's still a huge wrestling fan. I go, did you know that Marty Jannetty was this crazy?
Right.
And he's like, dude, I knew he was a little out there, because he's, telling people he killed somebody when he was 12 years old.
He's the one guy that can actually make Shawn Michaels look a little bit better. Because if you're Shawn Michaels, like, I got to get away from this guy. Yeah.
Throw him through the barber shop.
Yeah, he's nuts.
Yeah. Well, our big topic for the night is most overrated moments in sports. And, it can be anything. I've left it open-ended because I think it's funner that way. But guys, it's something that, again, it's subjective. Some people might disagree with it. Some people might completely agree with it, and some people might be mad about it. But it's there might be some controversy after this tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, overrated moments to me, they're just like moments, in my opinion, that just get replayed and replayed time after time, and people just talk about it all the time. Like, there are some things that happened a long time ago that those records could have easily been broken nowadays, especially in the NBA. So that's the way I look at overrated moments.
All right. Well, Hayden, why don't you kick us off, man?
All right. So my overrated moment is Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game.
Oh.
Now, this is why I'm saying that.
Okay.
Look at the time he played.
Okay.
In the 50s and 60s, the guys here playing, I looked this up. The average height in the 50s when he was playing was 6'4" for NBA players.
Yeah, his only really competition was Bill Russell.
Bill Russell, exactly. If Bill Russell
he
wasn't
dominated Bill Russell.
Yeah, he
didn't
did
dominate the team, but
he dominated Bill Russell at the time. But still, Bill Russell was in his way. He probably wouldn't have won a whole lot more championships, but still, this guy was he had a 100-point game. He was averaging well over 50. And well over 25-plus rebounds. I believe I can't remember that one season, but he averaged, 30 rebounds a game, something like that.
Yeah.
But, that's my overrated moment. Then another one that's my honorable mention is the LeBron chase down block on Andre Iguodala. It seems like that thing gets replayed time and time and time again.
Replayed more than Kyrie's game-winning shot.
Yes, Kyrie, LeBron was the MVP of that series without a doubt. He did everything he needed to do to make sure Cleveland won that series. Excuse me, but Kyrie made that shot at the end. He won that game for them because he made that shot. I think it just gets played too much. That's LeBron's career in a highlight right there, and so that's why I think it. And then this is the last one, and this will go back to wrestling.
Okay.
WrestleMania 38, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, supposedly supposed to be the biggest match in WrestleMania history. You know how long that match lasted for?
10 minutes.
16 minutes. For a greatest match of all time, championship unification. Two big time names, Brock Lesnar, WWE, UFC, NCAA champion.
That was the last one, 39. So this was what?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then Roman Reigns still dominating. He is WWE without a doubt right now. So
there are two guys that weren't moving the needle. Brock's kind of more headed back towards the mid card now. But at the time, how many pay-per-views did they headline those two going at each other? I mean, that rivalry seemed like it went on forever.
Yeah. I mean, he was supposed to, I remember he was supposed to face him the first pay-per-view of the year. It was January 1st, and then Roman had an injury, and he couldn't face, Brock couldn't face him, so they put him for the WWE Championship, and that's how it made that battle, kind of continue. And then after that, after he won the championship, a few months later, SummerSlam in Nashville a few years ago. So I don't know. I think that rivalry was just overrated in this match in general. For how they hyped it up for being that big time of a match, you're expecting a 30-minute match.
Yeah, that's at least what most.
16 minutes. Yeah. But then again, I do get this part. I'm pretty sure Roman threw his shoulder out during the match.
Okay.
They kind of had to do the X, but still for a match like that, 16 minutes really. So that's just those are my honorable mentions. But my number one is Wilt.
If you've never, you can pull it up on YouTube. When Adam Sandler, we all know him from movies and things like that. But very underrated stand-up. If you go back and watch a lot of his old stuff before he ever even got on Saturday Night Live, he's got a bit. And I'm going back to your Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game. And he said, I'm going to do 2 impressions. And he said, the first one is late in the fourth quarter, coach calls a timeout for the other team and says, okay, who's got Wilt? And then the other impression is one of Wilt's teammates and say, hey, you think I might get a shot?
Yeah.
I flew my parents in for this. Can I get one? Can I get one?
Yeah.
So that's a great bit. I've got 2 that are wrestling and probably 2 that are LeBron related.
Yeah, LeBron. There we go.
Without it's so overrated. They tried to make such a let there be light.
Yep.
But breaking Kareem's record. Well, yeah, if you played since you're 18,
yeah,
and you're going to. You've got the longevity. I mean, you that's not a big a deal. Yeah, it's something he'll always say. You'll never hear me say he's the GOAT, but I'll admit it. He's scored more points than anybody in history. The other one with LeBron is I've lost my train of thought here. Is his first 2 championships. I mean,
you do have to look at it that way because honestly, I was thinking about that as an overrated moment because I didn't think of it at that point, but Ray Allen won them that series because they were down 3-2.
Yeah.
If Ray Allen didn't hit that shot,
they don't even consider Ray Allen part of the big 3.
No,
of
they
that
don't.
Team.
He was a huge factor for that team.
Oh gosh, if Ray Allen don't hit that 3-pointer, they're out of the series.
Yeah. Oh, that was the series.
Yeah.
If he didn't make that shot, it's over. San Antonio's winning that game.
So those are 2. One wrestling is the streak.
Oh,
the Undertaker.
It didn't need to be broken.
I
Brock
agree.
was already over. They made such a big deal out of that, and I don't know. I think everybody here that watches wrestling was like, that wasn't the time. Brock was already over.
Yeah.
The Undertaker should have had handpicked whoever he wanted to. It should have been somebody that neither needed to get over or it should have been Kane.
Right.
He wanted if it was going to be broken, because if you go back and you watch most of the pay-per-views that it was Taker and Kane, he's got a decidedly big advantage over him in wins.
Right.
And just all through the years. And I think he's even said that's who he would have wanted to have broke his streak, Kane, because he loves Glenn Jacobs. And Glenn Jacobs has just been so appreciative to everything that The Undertaker did for him. The other one, my other wrestling that's so overrated to me was I've lost my train of thought again because I had like 3 of these and I'm trying to narrow it down. But well, I have to come back to it.
Yeah, I guess we'll talk.
I'll think of it.
Yeah.
I'll think of it when you're.
And you know, talking about,
I had these wrote down,
Yeah.
and guess where they are? They're sitting at the barbershop.
But yeah, going back to that Undertaker thing, I think the main reason that they wanted to do that was because it was the WrestleMania 30. One of probably the biggest stage WrestleMania wise. Like to this day, I still feel like, in my opinion, that's one of the biggest WrestleManias.
Oh,
without a doubt.
I know. Sting, Triple H. You've hyped this thing up.
That was so bad.
Sting has finally came to WWE, and it's pretty much a farewell tour. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
But one, he loses his only ever WrestleMania match to Triple H. Probably was a good sign who he was wrestling, that you knew he might get done over.
Yeah.
But why the run-ins with the NWO
and DX? Yeah.
I mean, I get DX, but if you're going to have a run-in for Sting, it's not going to be the NWO. Sting hated the NWO.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know,
Where's the Horseman?
You get the Steiner brothers.
Yeah.
You know, you go get Ric Flair. You go get somebody like that can come in, but that was so overrated and then just such a stinker of a finish, and that's that one's big for me.
And then also going to that, you know, later that year, Sting returned, and that was, in my opinion, that's another, you know, you could probably say that's an overrated moment because like him coming back to face Seth Rollins for the WWE
Then he gets hurt in that match, and pretty much doesn't. That's his last match.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, he could have really got hurt because I'm not exactly sure. He collapsed.
There were some really good Monday Night Raws leading up to him and Seth Rollins, and you thought, all right, they're finally going to do him right.
Yeah.
They're going to do him right, and then he goes on a turnbuckle and messes his neck and everything up, and they just have to quick finish it and do it. And I guess my most overrated thing, and if we got any Loretta listeners, you just have to get over it. But my biggest overrated thing was them beating Summertown after Summertown beat them all year in the state championship. That till the day I die, that one's going to hurt. But congratulations, Loretta.
Well, on the wrestling kind of theme of things, I think what's overrated is how Goldberg's streak ended. I mean, we're going to cattle prod the guy with another NWO angle. Like they act like everyone who talks about that, except for Goldberg and right-minded people, think that they had to beat him at some point. Okay, beat him with Kevin Nash, but like, why do all this fake NWO stuff? Because Scott Hall's never going away, and it was just they could not let go of the NWO.
I was listening to one of our favorites, Jim Cornette, and he had Greg Gagne on with him, and they were talking about we've already went on our rants about Starrcade and the finish of that with Sting, and he said as bad as they screwed that up, they were still so lucky because all of a sudden you had this guy come in that was their version of Stone Cold Steve Austin, maybe not the beer drinking and the talking and the stick it to your boss type, but just that look, that kind of guy. And they didn't know what to do with him.
Yeah.
And that blew up. That saved them. That kept them in business a little longer. But it's kind of like Cornette said, hey, he don't want to get beat. I'd beat him in the first match.
Yeah.
But if you are going to wait and you are going to do a streak, you don't do it with a cattle prod.
Yeah.
And you don't do it on live TV.
Yeah.
You save that for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That might be a topic one of these xSports lives. We'll just go.
I can't wait till our next wrestling show.
Yeah. Boy, that's gonna be.
It might have to be before WrestleMania. We might have to break out 2 a year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm mute for it.
mute for
Will's
it.
got one. Okay, Will.
All right. Overrated in sports, wins and losses for pitchers as a stat.
Oh.
That is kind of overrated.
Okay.
I like that.
I like that.
Because a lot of things they can't control.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody out of the bullpen blows it when they sit down, they don't get the win. That's
Right.
Yeah.
a stupid stat.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that could be another topic one night.
Right.
I actually thought about
Stupid
that earlier.
stats.
Yeah,
I like
stupid
that.
stats. Yeah. All right. My first moment. Actually, I'm going to start with wrestling. I had a wrestling one. I think Ultimate Warrior beating Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania is overrated because
Really?
it didn't go. It didn't turn into anything.
Yeah, it didn't turn into a storyline.
Yeah.
Well, they wanted it to.
Yeah.
And they were thinking that the Warrior was going to take that and run and be the next Hulkamania and put them on their back, but he couldn't do it.
He didn't, and he really didn't want to do it
No,
because you need, like we said, we need those 20 to 25 minute main event matches, and he was 5 minutes and let's go home.
Let's go home. Let's go home.
Yeah, he's blown up after 5 minutes. Okay, now to sports. First one, and I'm going to kind of group some of these together. I've got Kirk Gibson's home run, and I've got Aaron Boone's home run. Well, the first thing with Kirk Gibson it was game 1 of that series. Now, they went on to win in, 5? Or maybe they swept Oakland. No, I think they won in 5.
It's 5 or 6. It didn't go to 7 for sure.
Yeah. But that was game 1. Like Oakland with Canseco and McGuire and Dave Stewart and Eckersley. I know he homered off of Eckersley, but they had plenty of time.
And Kirk Gibson never played another game in that series.
Yeah.
But I'm going to disagree with you. That's one of my favorite
I'm not saying it's not
calls of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. It kind of gets – because if he doesn't come up and get that hit, they probably still win it. I get what you're saying. I do.
Yeah.
But it'll live in my mind forever. Well, look who's coming up to bat. And he limps up there and hits it home. But I do see what you're saying.
Yeah, it's not overrated as a moment. It's overrated because it was game 1.
Right.
And they had –
it really didn't have any bearing on the series.
Yeah.
And then they went on to pretty much dominate the series.
Yeah, Oakland had plenty of chances. Aaron Boone's home run, mainly because, they did that in game 7.
You talking about Aaron Effin Boone?
Aaron Effin Boone, yeah. Mainly because they lost to the Marlins in the World Series. Now, it's a great iconic moment, and he's certainly ridden into a media career. Now as the manager of the Yankees, I mean, let's be real. He's ridden that moment into all of this stuff, but it didn't lead to anything. That's kind of a theme with my overrated moments. It didn't lead into anything. It
led to him coming in second.
Yeah. And actually the Marlins, that was a 4. Was it game? It was 6 because they beat him at Yankee Stadium. So they beat him in 6, but, I mean.
Was David Weathers on that Marlins team? Or was it the first one?
I think it was
because that was the second one.
The first one, yeah. It was the second one, yeah. He was on the first one. I think he was already in Cincinnati.
Okay.
He had to be in Cincinnati by that point. Okay, basketball. Well, speaking of baseball, Steve Bartman.
Ooh, I haven't heard that name in a long time.
Yeah, I try not to bring up that name in my household.
Did you get this from The Bear?
No.
Do you watch The Bear?
What is The Bear?
It's a show on FX. But anyways, go ahead.
No,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I've heard of it, but did they bring this up on The Bear?
It is. It was basically the uncle that's funding the restaurant. If you hadn't watched The Bear, it's a great show. It's my new favorite show. But the uncle's saying, you don't need to be, he goes through this whole thing of everybody in Chicago wanted to blame Bartman.
Yeah.
2 plays before that, the shortstop, who was a good shortstop.
It was actually several pitches after that.
Right,
yeah.
or whatever.
It was after,
screws up a routine double play ball that could have got him out of everything.
Yeah.
But no, everybody wants to blame Bartman. He said, so don't be the shortstop. You can be Bartman, but don't be the shortstop.
Yeah, and that's the reason why it's overrated because, Alou probably would have made the catch. They walk that guy, but then Miguel Cabrera comes up, a 19-year-old Miguel Cabrera, I might add you, and grounds into a tailor-made double play. And Gonzalez, who had a great season, he had 20 home runs, like 80-some RBIs, bobbles it. I mean, in the wheels, Mark Pryor's on the mound before his 30 elbow injuries. I mean, the wheels fell off. But like I said, it wasn't the deciding factor. They had not just that play, but several other plays they could have made right after that, and it just –
they couldn't get out of the inning.
Yeah, they couldn't get it. They gave up 8 runs in that. It was
and
3-0.
All Steve Bartman did was what any of us in this room would have done.
Exactly.
Tried to catch it.
Yeah.
I mean, and he is pretty much banned from Wrigley Field.
Yeah. Next one, though, speaking of curses, I'm going Bill Buckner. Because, most fans think that happened in Game 7 when it actually happened in Game 6.
No, they still could have won.
Yeah. Well, they should have closed it out. They had a pitcher that, threw a wild pitch that sent in the tying run. They brought in a reliever who was scared to death. Calvin Giraldi threw all of that. The offense was doing its job, and all of a sudden, and by the way, they had made subs for Buckner all season long and in the playoffs. They liked his bat for the first 8 innings, but they wanted that sub because he was getting older. They just didn't make the sub. They kind of put themselves in their own corner there, and he just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And it's not a guarantee that he makes that play because remember how back he was playing, and he beats Mookie Wilson to the bag. It's not a given that he beats him to the bag.
No.
So-
Even if he fields it clean, probably still going to lose.
Yeah, and then
But it's kind of like the Bartman thing.
Yeah.
Red Sox fan needs somebody to blame.
And they blamed Bill Buckner.
And that's who it was.
And they also, by the way, got out to a big lead in Game 7 before
And
New
blew it.
York. Yeah, and blew it. Exactly. Just like the Cubs did in Game 7.
Right.
Had a lead in Game 7 and blew it. That's why it's overrated. Basketball, go to Linsanity. We've talked about it before. I think we might have said it's overrated.
He was our overrated players maybe.
Yeah, it was on one of those
Yeah,
lists, but
yeah.
it was fun. It was great.
He was hotter than a $2 pistol
Yeah.
for about 2 months, and then you never heard
And
anything
then
else.
Carmelo and Amari come back, and then they face Kobe, and Kobe shuts them down.
Yeah, and then Jeremy goes to the Lakers.
Yeah, and then Houston, and then he goes to a million
to
places.
Charlotte. Now he's in China.
Yeah, he's playing. He's in China. I thought it was North Korea or something. He's
I'm pretty sure he was in China, but he might be in North Korea now. But
Yeah.
when he went back, he went to China.
And again, it's another moment that led to nothing.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. It was fun while it lasted, but I don't even think they made the playoffs that year, did they?
Right. No, they didn't.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. It's something that led to nothing. Now I'm going to football. I'm going to go with Doug Flutie's Hail Mary. Great iconic moment that led to nothing. Because I remember this being a West Virginia guy and a West Virginia fan, they lost 3 games that year. They went 8-3 in the regular season.
Was it in a bowl game or was it
No,
in
it was a regular season game when they did it at
Okay.
Miami.
Okay.
Now, they both came in ranked, and Miami was, on the verge of another national championship. I think it might have been their first national championship.
Miami still went on to
Yeah.
win the national championship that year.
Oh, yeah. So it didn't even hurt
Right.
Miami that year. But the fact that it happened, but it only happened to an 8-3 team. I remember, Flutie was 0-3 against West Virginia. And that's what I remember.
Right.
And they, kind of had his number there. And remember this, going back old school, the Cordell Stewart Hail Mary of Michigan.
Yep.
I mean, that pretty much, flashed the whole thing. But most people, when they think of Cordell Stewart, don't really think much of his Steeler career. They remember that Hail Mary. Again, they didn't even win the Big 8, Big 12, whatever that conference was at that point in time. Something that led to nothing. And then this one probably will upset some SEC fans. I'm going to go with those Auburn miracles that got them into the national championship game.
Yeah. I could see it.
Because that team really wasn't, they got lucky a couple times.
That led to the only reason that Jimbo Fisher is getting huge amounts of money because they beat. That's the one time that SEC team got beat in a national championship. Florida State beats Auburn in that one. That Auburn probably was so lucky to get into.
Exactly, because the Georgia game, they should have lost to Georgia, should have lost to Bama, and they did lose to LSU.
Georgia was the one that the pass goes off the defender to the Georgia
He knocked
player.
it out of another defender's hands and hit him in stride. I mean, they're great.
And then the very next game is the kick six. Which I'll still say, like I said the other night when we were calling that jamboree, that's Nick Saban's fault.
Yeah, I mean they're two mistakes. They took advantage of other teams' mistakes. Like Saban should have never kicked that.
Right.
He should have thrown a Hail Mary or tried
played for overtime.
Or for overtime. That's what he should have done. I know we're not hating on Nick Saban. This is
I do.
Look, Clint did. So Barry blamed Clint or Joe blamed Clint.
I think Nick Saban's the greatest college football coach of all time. I'm not saying that, but
he's made some dumb moments.
But
he's had some dumb moments.
Well, what I said when we were doing the jamboree the other night, Tennessee should have never had 3 plays to get into field goal range.
No.
Yeah.
Because if Alabama misses the game-winning field goal, it should go to overtime.
Yep.
Yeah. And they throw 3 passes that kill the clock.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just I couldn't believe what I was watching, but I was like, they're trying to give us a chance to win this game.
Well, I think probably the 2 worst SEC teams in national championship game history were both Auburn, and one of them won.
Right.
If that Auburn team doesn't have Cam Newton and doesn't have Michael Dyer making a very smart move, Oregon, well, you could probably put those Oregon teams on an overrated list for all the talent they had and never won a national championship, despite all the ample opportunities they had to win a national championship, never did it. But, I mean, can you really think of a all-time NFL great other than Cam Newton on any of those two Auburn teams?
No.
Not on those two.
I don't even consider Cam Newton.
I know, I don't either. But
not
he did win an MVP.
Cam's kind of one of those busts, and yes, he went to a Super Bowl and he won an MVP. But
what else has he done?
But boy, he sure did. It sure did go downhill real quick after Peyton's final year, and what Von Miller and them did to him. It's like he never recovered.
No, never did. They figured him out, and
it was over with for him.
It was over with.
And I think it did him in, too, just people showing over and over the footage of him fumbling the ball and him not going after the ball.
I ripped him on live TV news the next day over that.
Right.
So, I mean, I let him, I think he was overrated, and I lost every bit of respect when he did not fall on that ball. And I'm thinking, you have Dan Marino, Tarkenton, all of these great quarterbacks who never won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. They would have fell on that ball. Forget your shoulder, forget your whatever.
Look, you're on the biggest stage in all of football.
What a nearly 40-year-old John Elway did to win.
Helicopter.
Yes. I mean.
Yeah, and Cam won't fall on the ball when he's still in his 20s. Yeah. All right, well, those are our overrated moments of all time, and we'll probably revisit the topic again sometime down the road. But we'll probably think of some.
I hate I've missed so many shows. I've had so many good ones. I had so many in the chamber, but I just couldn't be here.
Got any in the chamber that you're thinking of?
We'll just have to come back, like overrated players and just things that people I really want to get to, but we'll save that for another time.
Here, let me unmute you.
I have a favorite memory of when I hear the word overrated. You could probably guess what it is.
Lawrence County playing at Summertown.
Boys basketball. 2 seasons ago.
Gavin Burleson, the Lawrence County student section, in the end zone in the first half with the overrated chance. And then what did Gavin have? 37 and beat them in overtime? That was great.
They were down 17.
Yeah.
Summertown was down 17 when they started chanting overrated, and then he exploded.
And then Gavin Burleson proceeded to do what Gavin Burleson did all year that year.
Just get hot and
Summertown
never look back.
Undefeated at home that season.
Yeah,
that was great. That's a great one, Will.
There you
That's
go,
great.
Will. All right, well, coming up next here, the guys and I are going to rant. That's coming up next here on xSports Live from Hinie's BBQ.
For decades, First Class Charter has provided high-quality motor coach transportation services to the Tennessee Valley. With numerous safety and cleanliness accreditations, First Class Charter is ready to make your group trip a reality. Contact us today by visiting firstclasscharter.net. First Class Charter, the official motor coach company of the North Alabama Lions.
Story and Lee, the Tennessee Valley's most dynamic furniture store, featuring our Made in America galleries with solid wood dining and bedrooms, leather furniture, mattresses, and so much more. You want it? We've got it. With our 3 acres of showroom and our huge warehouse, we're sure to have exactly what you want. And it's all ready to be delivered to your home absolutely free. Just try that anywhere else. We are Story and Lee.
Whether you're looking to spruce up the interior or exterior of your home or business, trust Lawrenceburg Glass to provide a one-of-a-kind product. From windows to mirrors, shower doors, custom framing, storefront installations, and everything in between, Lawrenceburg Glass takes pride in our quality craftsmanship and strong attention to detail. With us, your customer experience always exceeds expectations. We're reliable, on time, and we deliver stunning results.
And back here at xSports Live, brought to you by Hinie's BBQ. It's the final segment of the show. We're obviously missing Dusty Kaiser. He's getting Botox injections in his cheeks right now over at Faith. I'm going to think of every crazy thing I can think of and see if he's listening or goes back and listens to it.
So he's getting lipo and Botox.
Well, you gotta take from one area and fill in others.
I gotcha.
It's a constant struggle with him.
Well, Dusty's kind of like me. He's got a lot you can take.
Okay. All right, Aiden, why don't you start us off?
All right, so I talked to you about it earlier before the show. This message is to the TSSAA. Are you kidding me? For real? We talked about the shot clock. Are you serious? They just dismissed it. They just dismissed talks about it. Like, I get it strategy-wise. Yes, to pass the ball around, wasting much clock. But with the talent kids have in basketball now, how the game's played, how fast-paced it is, you got to have a shot clock, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, if you got guys that are going to be playing at the next level, college level, they need to get used to this. Because I've seen it. I've seen freshmen that come into UT Southern, and they don't know shot clock situations. So I think it'll hire the IQ. But the thing that gets me, they just dismiss it, and they're not going to talk about it for another 3 years. And I'm looking at it right now, TSSAA, what they talked about. They gave out their whole report. All of it's finance. That's all it is for them. It's all money.
That's all they ever care about.
I know
anyways.
exactly. But still, like there's some issues. And I'm not saying this is a huge issue, but still, I'm just upset that they just dismissed it. Like, oh, well, this is something we need. We'll just talk about that. We'll talk about this in 3 years. We'll see what the situation is. No, that's not the issue. The issue is that these games are taking a little bit longer than they should. The officials, I'm not going to talk about that. I'll let you do that this upcoming season. But still, that's my rant, that they didn't approach this and didn't seem to give no intent of even giving this a thought. So my message to TSSAA, just think next time. Give it a train of thought. If you dismiss it, fine. Okay, I get it. But still, you just look at it and like, oh, well, we're done. Yeah, we'll talk about 3 more years, see what it's like. So,
Are you both a big proponent that we should have a shot clock in high school basketball?
I believe we should. I think it's time.
I go back and forth on it.
See,
because
at one point I thought yes.
Yeah.
But the game has changed so much now that nobody's going down and holding the ball anymore. Yeah, you might get a team that's highly overmatched and tries to just walk across half court and hold it. Every once in a while you'll hear a story like that. But, I mean, look, I cover Summertown, and that shot's going up pretty quick.
Yeah.
I know how Lawrence County's played under Joe Wilson and stuff, and, I mean, it's a high-rolling offense. I know Coach Tip, so I know the teams we cover here. Yeah, I get it when it comes down to the end of a game. If it's a tight game, but I can also see the strategy in be able to run a triangle, be able to run a hold the ball situation, because a lot of teams try that and screw it up, and it leads to them getting beat because they can't slow down and make a team foul you or take a layup. So I see both sides of it, but listen, you don't want to get me started on the TSSAA. So I get it.
But it doesn't have to be the college level, because, in NBA it's 24-14, college is 30-20. I'd say high school, a good time would be 35-25.
Yeah.
I think that would be good.
Yeah.
You could do 40-30 or whatever, but still 35-25.
I go back and forth on it because at times I would really like it. Because it would kind of unify the game a little bit, and I understand that would help them at the college level. Then other times I'm like, man, we've got small schools that have a hard enough time to get people to run the scoreboard correctly, and then to add that other part to it, and they add the expenses and all the stuff that comes into it. But you know, I kind of go back and forth of it. I mean, I think it's going to eventually happen at some point where it's going to be a whole 50-state thing. I already know there's some states that are already doing that, but you know, I understand both sides of it. I'm on the fence of it, even though I think it overall be better for the benefit.
And I mean, you gotta look at a school like, well, even Summertown. I mean, look at the facilities Summertown has. Yeah, that's a cathedral to most people, and that you walk into that gym and you think Hoosiers, but I don't know that we can put a shot clock in there and trust that it's going to work all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could go to Clifton or Perry County or some of these really small schools and say, are they going to be able to keep this up?
Yeah, for the Frank Hugheses of the world.
Yeah, I don't. So there's times I've said, God, we need a shot clock. This is so boring to watch. But there's also times that, you know, the way basketball's evolved, even at the high school level, I don't worry about. 5 years ago, I'd have been like, gosh, we need this.
Mhm.
We need a shot clock, you know.
And also it's the pace of how teams play, because, I mean, what made my mind up was Lawrence County was beating Lincoln County by 30 last year, and they were still, you know, passing the ball around, just trying to waste as much clock as possible, you know, telling the younger guys, you know, get your baskets, but play smart, waste clock that way when we get out of here. I literally leaned over to my dad watching that game. I'm like, I'm finna fall asleep. Because, like, I've told AJ, the games at Southern, they're just like, it's fast-paced.
Yeah.
The way we play, I mean, it's just as soon as we get the ball defensively, we're gone, and we're shooting, and we're going to, you know, run from there. And if it comes down to that shot clock, you know, I think strategy-wise, I think it's good, because now it gives you more of a chance to think of, like, okay, in this situation, and plus it's good for situation-wise. Like in practice, you can say, okay, hey, we're going to, you know, make a under-the-basket play. We got 5 seconds on the shot clock. What's a play we can use? And then at that point, you know, and what you were saying, AJ, about having the facility to do, I get that part. But from a clock manager's standpoint, it's not that hard to control a shot clock. I mean, all you got to do is start the clock when they touch the ball. And if the ball hits the rim, or if an offensive player grabs the rebound, then it resets.
I don't, you know, I can only speak teams I've covered or what I know. I don't think you would have to pay somebody to do it. Yeah, I do think you would have to get somebody separate besides who's running your scoreboard.
Yeah, that's how they do it at Southern.
But that's every team we cover and everybody I know, that's volunteers. You just got to get one more volunteer. So that, to me, that wouldn't be an issue. I can see some issues, but hey, I've got one kid left. She's a senior, so I'm not ever going to have to worry about it as far as any of my kids go. But I could see the argument for both sides.
Yeah, I say, like, that's just me personally.
All right, Clinton, your turn.
I don't have any rants. I guess I do. I guess if you want to consider it a rant, it's against maybe some previous administrations. But I'm not going to get into anything personally. But Will, I think, can vouch for this. And maybe the last show I was up here, I did. I don't even think I had a rant then. I was praising Michael Adkins for getting us Brian Porter, for Greg Burleson being back in our administration as an assistant principal and an athletic director, and for Kim Bright being back to where she needs to be. You know, first volleyball game, we've got every administrator there. We've got Brian Porter is literally walking around trying to figure out, all right, what do we need around here? You know, he's asking questions. You know, you've went up that rickety attic ladder to go call games at Summertown, and
every time up and
yeah,
every time down.
Well, hey, wait till you see it now, because there's one step broke. Yeah. But we have an administrator now that is literally trying to fix problems. We have Will and I, especially me and the Franks brothers, even before Will got into doing all this live streaming, have been griping and complaining about the sound system in the gym. We've only got 2 out of our 6 speakers that have worked for the last 7 years, and it sounds terrible. We're fixing to get a whole new sound system because of a new principal, and you know, I just want to give kudos and tip my hat to Brian Porter, Greg Burleson, Kim Bright, because I think we've got the best. I'll be honest with you. I think we've got the best administration probably in the county, and I'm not knocking the other ones. I've got a lot of respect for all the other ones, but I do have to tip my hat to Brian Porter. He's come in and he is trying to make sure we have what we need. So that's my only that's my rant / praise.
Yeah.
My rant's only against the ones that were in before, but we're not going to get on that soapbox.
Well, my rant tonight, there was a big controversy, during the Women's World Cup about something Carly Lloyd said, because she saw these girls who were barely got into the round of 16, and they eventually lost, and they were celebrating, and she said, this isn't the team of the past, they're not respecting us, everyone knows the comments. Now, I'm not going to talk about the women's soccer team, but I am going to talk about a trend that we do see now in sports, where people are more concerned about themselves, building their brand, taking selfies, and not getting to the point. It was obvious, and everyone pointed it out several times. There was no cohesion on this group. You had a bunch of people who are just out for themselves, and you know what? We went from a country that won back-to-back World Cups to now a country that is way behind everybody, and that just happened in a span of 4 years.
Right.
So what's the big difference? It's not talent. Everyone says we have the best talent in the world.
It's who's in the locker room.
It's who's in the locker room, and it's all the people who are out for themselves, out for their own, whether it be political ambitions, monetary ambitions, fame ambitions, whatever the case may be. But I think it should be a lesson for evereverybody. You know what?
Especially James Harden.
Yeah, you can't.
Hey, James Harden's about to get as fat as me.
Yeah, he's
eating all those tacos with Lil Baby or DaBaby or whatever.
Yeah, listen, I mean,
that's unreal. When I saw that video of him grabbing all those tacos at that party, I was like, this dude's trying to get cut. And I mean, they're not going to, but he's doing anything possible to just get out of there.
Right.
Yeah, but it should be a lesson to everybody that it's about the team, it's about winning, and it's about building cohesion. Because if not, you could have all the talent in the world, you can still get beat. And the women's soccer team found that out, and now they went from the best team in the world to not even a top 10 team, and about 12 others that just blew by them.
Right.
And they might be
absolutely.
they might be in a rut for who knows the next 2 decades, because they might, it might take them forever to recover from it. So
they're going to lose some people.
Yep, just my rant, not necessarily about the team itself. It's about what really I thought Carly Lloyd was talking about, which is this is a group of individuals. This isn't a team, and it was clearly obvious.
Oh, yeah.
On the field a couple weeks ago.
Will, can you zoom this in to that? All right. That's the new facility that xSports and Tennessee Valley Weather's in. And I am so honored that –
Yes. I've seen it. Yeah.
But, that wasn't that long ago. Look how dark that hair is.
I mean, it looks great. I love your whole outfit there.
I mean,
the vest.
I don't know what happened in those 5 years, but, man, all of a sudden
I know what
I'm
happened at that
lightheaded.
game, but –
Well, we won't get into that. But I just feel honored to have my picture on the wall there, and Ben keeps trying to get me to come up there and check out the new facility, and I'm going to sometime either the next couple of days or next week. I'm going to go check it out. So
yeah, we can't wait to get in it. What, Hayden, weather side's done, right?
Weather side is 99.9% done, so we're not going to debut to the set until we get the xSports Center, but we're working on that right now.
Okay, so when's the xSports Center done?
That's a great question.
Well, one of these days
that's what we're worried about.
Yeah, that's one of these days we're going to take the show there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that will hopefully be soon.
Yeah.
So
within the next few weeks. Hey, one more thing. I want to give a big shout out to this guy back here because, and I guess we probably really need to give it to his missus because Will covers pretty much any sport that needs to be shown or just does it just so these kids can get out there and does it. And let me tell you something. I'll keep hanging around even after M graduates, but if Will's not doing it, I ain't coming back. If I've got Will, I'll keep coming back and helping even when I don't have a kid at summertime. But if Will's there, I'll be there.
I told my wife, I said, his son's a freshman, and then he's got a daughter that's in middle school right now, so we've got him locked in for a long-term contract.
Unless the missus puts a nix to it, so we got to keep Mama happy.
Yeah, we've got to keep Mama happy. So thankful for Big Poppy for
That's
being
right.
here tonight. So for Hayden Burks, for Clint Brazier, I'm AJ Good. Have a great evening. We'll see you guys once again tomorrow night. Got several volleyball games. Loretto, Lawrence County, and Summertown all in action. And plus, high school football kicks off on Friday.
Plus, I'll be on the call against Mount Pleasant, so that's going to be, me and Will, we're going to have a big time.
Yeah, it's appointment television right there.
That's right.
So for the whole crew, I'm AJ Good. Have a great evening.
Going the distance with local sports. Covering the Loretto Mustangs, Summertown Eagles,